Okay, this is kind of a little fond memory here. We lived in Birmingham, and I was reading some poetry one afternoon out of my old poetry book that I've had since I guess I was probably 13. Matter of fact, a lot of the ones I recite are from that very book. And Quinn Michael came through my room, and I said, "Hey, Quinn Michael," I was just about to read Rags. And I go, "Hey, Quinn Michael," I said, "Come here, let me read you this poem." I said, "I've been reading this since I was a little girl." Little girl. And he goes, "Okay." And he comes over to my bed. I'm lying there across my bed. He comes over to my bed, and he gets down on his little knees and puts his little hands under his chin, and he's propped up on the bed listening, just eager to hear me. And I think he was about 10 years old, maybe 9, 10. And so anyway, I started to read it. And I said, "You're going to like it. It's about a dog named Rags." And he goes, and so anyway, he sat there waiting, and I started. And here's how it goes. We called him Rags. He was just a cur, but twice on the western line, that little old bunch of faithful fur had offered his life for mine. And all he got was bones and bread and leavings of soldier's grub. But he'd give his heart for a pat on the head or a friendly tickle or rub. And Rags got home with a regiment, and then, in the breaking away, well, whether they took him or whether he went, I'm not prepared to say. But we mustered out, some to beer and gruel, and some to sherry and shad, and I went back to the Sawbone School where I was still an undergrad. One day they took us budding MDs to one of those institutes where they demonstrate every new disease by means of bisected brutes. They had one animal tacked and tied and slit like a full-dress fish, with his vitals pumping away inside, as pleasant as one might wish. I stopped and looked, like the rest, of course, and the beast's eyes level mine. His short tail thumped with a feeble force, and he uttered a tender whine. It was Rags. Yes, Rags, who was martyred there, who was quartered and crucified. And he whined that whine which is doggish prayer, and he licked my hand and died. And I was no better in part nor whole than the gang I was found among. His innocent blood was on the soul which he blessed with his dying tongue. I've seen men go to courageous death in the air, on sea, on land, but only a dog would spend his breath in a kiss for his murderer's hand. And if there's no heaven for love like that, for such four-legged fealty, well, if I have any choice, I'll tell you flat, I'll take my chance in hell. And so anyway, when I got through with it, I looked over and I said, I was gonna say, "Didn't you love that?" And just as I looked over at him, he was still propped up listening, and tears were just flowing down his sweet little face. And I was just about to say, "Did you enjoy?" And I looked and I saw those tears, and I go, and before I could get it out of my mouth, he looked at me and he goes, "Why did you read me that?" It was so sweet. I said, "Oh, son, I'm sorry. Mother didn't know it was going to upset you." Oh, my God, what a sweet child he was. Oh, precious, just precious. And anyway, also, we were shopping. I used to buy him videos all the time. He probably had 200 or 300 videos in his room, just shelves, just stacked with them. And so one day we were in there shopping for him a video to buy, and I came across Old Yeller. Old Yeller, which I saw when I was a child at the Strand Theater with my two brothers, and loved it. And so anyway, I came across it, and I go, "Oh, Michael, here's Old Yeller." He said, "What is it?" I said, "Oh, you're gonna love it." I said, "I saw it when I was a little girl." I said, "It's a classic." I said, "You'll love it." And he turned it over and read the back of it, which is what he always did. He'd read the back of the box. And he goes, "Okay, let's get this one." So I bought it for him, and that night we sat out and watched it. And when it was over, I looked over at him, and I was just about to say the same thing I said with the poem. I was going to go, "Wasn't that good?" I looked over there at him, and he was just, tears were just streaming down his little sweet face, and he goes, "I can't believe you let me watch that." Bless him. And so, anyway, a couple of months later, maybe 6 months later, long time, he and his friend Boyd were in his room looking for something to watch, going perusing all of his bookshelves to look at his videos. And I came through there, and I said, "What are y'all doing?" He goes, we're looking for a video to watch tonight." And I said, "I bet you Boyd hasn't seen Old Yeller." I said, "Y'all watch Old Yeller." But Boyd would probably enjoy that. And Michael went, "I'll never watch that movie again." He was still mad at me about it. Anyway, thought I'd share.